Alright, how's it going, everyone? Here for week number 5 of the APA, going up against Mid Pokemaster and his Kentucky Torcats. He has a team of, I'm pretty sure I can memorize it because I've looked at it so much. He's got Victini, Zygarde 50%, Mega Venusaur, Suicune, Skarmory, Aromatisse, Conkeldurr, Alakazam, Alolan Persian, Avalugg, and Noctowl. Yeah, so I didn't actually take a picture this time. I just I just remembered. Um, just because, yeah, this prep has been quite a headache. I looked at this team once and I'm like, okay, this is just Gen 6 OU plus Alolan Persian and a few like gimmick picks like Aromatisse, Avalugg, and Noctowl, which, can all be a threat in their own respect, but probably not. He hasn't brought Avalugg or Noctowl yet, and he might have brought Aromatisse like once, but anyway, here, let me shut this window real quick because it might get noisy or something. I don't know. Very boring team to prep against. Going to be a boring team to battle against. Uh, just that's how it is. Some people, like to draft teams like that. But I took one look at it. I'm like, this is just not going to be fun. It's not. Like I said, it's just Gen 6 OU, and I remember battling in that era and it just not being very very fun. But nevertheless, we gotta face it. And he has been using some pretty creative sets. I'll give him that. I know he brought like Coil, Dragon Dance, Zygarde, which is very interesting. I think he brought. I don't quite remember. I think he brought like a Victini that was interesting outside the box a little bit. But yeah. Anyway, we'll get right into my team. I know that the two times he brought. I did my research on this one. Um, I usually don't do this, but the two times he brought a Alolan Persian, he led with and went for parting shot first turn. So if he brings a Alolan Persian, we can expect him to lead with it. Not that I have one thing that might help against that, but yeah. So we have the Haxorus here as our first mon with the Lumberry. Basically, I don't think he's gonna bring Aromatisse. I think I have a lot of Pokemon to deal with that. So if he doesn't bring Aromatisse, we don't really need anything other than Dragon type moves, because his only resist is going to be that Skarmory. So we have Swords Dance, Taunt, Scale Shot, and Dragon Claw. I wanted Dragon Claw as well as Scale Shot because for one, I can't miss Dragon Claw. Scale Shot I can miss. And I don't want to have to get too many defense drops in case he has E-Speed Zygarde. I only really want to go for Scale Shot once, maybe twice if I think he has a Scarf Victini. Um, or yeah, maybe Scarfed Alakazam, probably not. But yeah, if I think he has Scarf Victini, I'll want to go for Scale Shot twice because I can't outspeed after one. I only have I don't have any speed because I didn't really feel like I needed any. Because I don't think he's gonna bring Scarf Zygarde with Outrage. That would just be foolish in my opinion. Um, but yeah, that's the Haxorus. Taunt is basically so that he can't phase me with the Suicune or Skarmory. Lumberry's there for the mainly Scald Burn from Suicune, but also Sleep Powder from Venusaur. I don't want to get hit with that. And that is about it with this set. Yeah, Skarmory kind of shuts me down, but at the same time, if he's like Roost, Whirlwind, he has brought Roar on Suicune, and I believe he's brought Whirlwind or Roar on Skarmory too. At some point this season, but yeah, if I can taunt it and it's only attacking me with like Body Press or Iron Head or something, we might be able to set up on it pretty substantially and maybe sweep late game. So that is the plan with this here Haxorus. Next up is Naughty. I just changed this today. It was a Miltank, physically defensive with like Sap Sipper for Venusaur, but no, I'm just gonna bring Slowbro. Spit F Slowbro because I am predicting him to bring a special Victini. I feel like he'll see Gligar and Miltank and say I gotta run special with Focus Blast and Glaciate, um, or maybe just Searing Shot instead of Glaciate. But he'll probably want to run Focus Blast, or he might just run mixed, with like V Create, U Turn, um, you know, Glaciate and Focus Blast, or maybe he'll pack Thunder or Energy Ball. It gets a lot of coverage moves, but basically this Assault Vest Slowbro can deal with a special Victini. An Adamant Choice Banded Bolt Strike almost KOs me. It might even KO me. So I'm just gonna take the risk. I can't really, you know, like I said, this prep has kind of been a headache for me, but I can't prep for anything for everything. But Assault Slowbro seems to make a little bit of sense here because um, he also has Alakazam, and I want to be able to deal with that. I can still deal with Zygarde pretty well. You know, I can future sight things. I can take a few hits from Venusaur at full health. So, and the Regenerator definitely does help that. So, Scald, Future Sight, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball. I have Shadow Ball with Grass Knot. I was thinking about Grass Knot for Suicune. It does break a sub, but if he does outspeed me, so if he gets a few Calm Minds up and then is able to rest and all that jazz, I just don't want to be facing that. So I'd rather just click Shadow Ball against Alakazam. If I see Suicune, I can switch into something else. So yeah. Next up is the orange Florges, Bouquet that bitch. Because I don't know. Like I said, I was frustrated, so I just ran Choice Specs Florges. I'm not going to change this set. This is the one thing that I'm not going to change. It in all my mocks. I think this has kind of been a highlight. Moonblast is resisted by 3 Pokemon on his team: Victini, Venusaur, and Skarmory. I'm predicting him to run a Fizdef Skarmory just because it handles Skarmory, or it handles Mega Scizor and Haxorus really well. If it's not Fizdef, not so much with the Haxorus. So he may run Spidef, but I don't know. I just don't. I think he'll just run Fizdef, Rocky Helmet, and then put the Spidef duties to either Suicune or Mega Venusaur or both. But I have Psychic for Mega Venusaur to hit that thing really hard. Moonblast will 2 KO a Skarmory, most likely. Like if it has leftovers, it's close, but if he's Fizdef, Moonblast should be able to 2 KO him, and I should outspeed him. I might run a little bit of speed, just in case he tries to speed creep us, but I don't know why he'd try to speed creep a Florges. It wouldn't make much sense. Like that wouldn't really do him much good. So yeah, we got the pretty much. I had Energy Ball. I switched it to Wish because I'm not really ever gonna use Energy Ball. Suicune isn't really. I 2KO Suicune anyway, so it's whatever. I'm not gonna like lock myself into Energy Ball. He's gonna know I'm spec'd by the damage. So if I go for Energy Ball, he's just gonna double out into like Venusaur or Skarmory and just have to switch. So might as well just click with Moonblast. And having Wish there for support is nice. Also Defog on this set. So there it is. If he brings a Alolan Persian, I'll just leave with this Pokemon and probably just go for Wish actually because I don't want to reveal I'm Specs turn 1 because I know he won't stay in. He'll probably Parting Shot out. And yeah. Anyway, this is also a set I just changed. Changing a lot of things around. I might have another mock. We have the battle tomorrow. I have both TEC and APA battles tomorrow. I'm recording this Thursday, so yeah, I might change some stuff up. I might want to have another mock with this one just to see how the newer team does. Might change some stuff back. Might completely change everything. I don't know. Swords Dance, Natural Gift, Seed Bomb, Zen Headbutt with a Shaman. This was a specially offensive set. Change it to this set. Aqua Berry with the Natural Gift is going to turn into an 80 base power Fire type move to hit Skarmory. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had to close the door real quick. But yeah, Swords Dance, I changed this because I can't really hit Skarmory, even if I get the Seed Flare Spidef drop. I don't know. It's just where I just feel like the Shaman wouldn't work out in a real battle. Because I know he's going to bring Skarmory. I know he's going to bring Victini. And even though I had Earth Power on it, it's too much of a prediction, and he's probably just going to run Scarf Victini anyway. And even if he doesn't, I would only Speed Tie with it. So yeah. And if I don't OHKO him, even Life Orb. I was Life Orb. I don't even OHKO him, so he can just kill me. This Pokemon is very important for the Suicune. If he does get a Scald Burn, I can switch out because I'm Natural Cure. So that's okay, but Swords Dance and Natural Gift, Seed Bomb, Zen Headbutt is the set. So I can at least hit the Venusaur. So I don't want to rush the Natural Gift. He might double out, baiting it or whatever, or scouting for it. And if I don't kill the first time, I'm kind of screwed because I can't do much back after that. So I really got to make sure I hit that Natural Gift on the Skarmory. Otherwise, I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, next up is Fizdef. This is also, I think I've changed 4 sets so far. Now, in the last half hour. Now this one, Florges was only Wish. That wasn't a big deal. But this is a pretty big. I had like a Swords Dance set. I'm changing it to Fizz Def just to take on Zygarde a little bit better. Zygarde's a huge threat. It's also pretty decent for Alakazam. Slowbro is my initial response to Alakazam, but if I need this Pokemon here, I can have it here. It's also pretty nice for Conkeldurr. He's probably gonna run Fire Punch. I mean, I would if I were him. I'd probably just run Drain Punch, knock off Ice Punch and Fire Punch. He might run Mach Punch instead of Fire Punch. It's a lot of punches. But I'm definitely predicting an Ice Punch there. Because he has Victini. I mean, I know I can knock off, but he has plenty of switch-ins for those Pokemon. So I feel like between Ice Punch and Fire Punch, I think Ice Punch is more likely for that. But he might just think, oh, as long as I knock off the Gligar's Eviolite, I don't have to worry about it. He could think that and just run Fire Punch. Anyway, we do outspeed it and hit it with a big Technician boosted to Wing Beat. As long as he doesn't have like max speed on that thing, because it's really slow. I think it's like base 45, so the Wing Beat is definitely valuable in this matchup. Because of that, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Roost, the other three moves. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, not much else to say, I suppose. Zygarde with Coil could be annoying, but this Pokemon is here for that. So I can just do Wing Beat to hit it twice to try to break this up on the first one. I don't know if it will, if the first set, it probably won't. But again, as long as we just wear it down with Bullet Punch, it doesn't have any recovery other than like leftovers and rest maybe. But if he's running Coil, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Thousand Arrows potentially, that might happen. That might be a scary set, but if he runs that, he cannot beat our last. Well, he probably can still, but he'd struggle against Shaman, and especially this Pokemon. This is my wall breaker, pretty much. Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and Sucker Punch. I had Destiny Bond. I switched this one too. Actually, this is the only Pokemon that I haven't moved. It's changed around at some point in the last half an hour to hour. Sucker Punch over Destiny Bond because I want to be able to hit Alakazam. If somehow, there's a double down, or maybe he goes for a U-turn against my Gengar, or as I switch in Gengar and he brings out Alakazam because he knows I'm not Scarfed. Maybe he knows I'm Specs. I'll have Sucker Punch there, and if it's, it's gonna have to be pretty weakened. In fact, I'm probably just gonna do this so that my attack isn't dropped. I might just put those 80 extra EVs in the attack just so that I can hit Alakazam a little bit stronger. But basically, Alakazam's really weak on the physical side. So if I can Sucker Punch that, I'll do a good amount of damage. Maybe if I have Chip from like the Slowbro earlier in the game or something, I'll actually be able to knock it out. We'll see. But yeah, Shadow Ball is pretty spammable against his team. He's got his normal type is Noctowl, and his Dark type is Alolan Persian, which still takes a good amount from Shadow Ball. So Sludge Wave, if the Skarmory's dead, or if I know it's not gonna come in, that's also a pretty spammable move against him. Thunderbolt is there for mainly just the Suicune, and I guess the Skarmory, but more so the Suicune. So that's the team. I know this one took a long time. I was trying to explain things pretty in depth, I guess. I was thinking about Zorua. I might bring that still. I don't know. I don't know what I'd get rid of, but basically it's just a cluster. I mean, there's so many thoughts in my head about this matchup. This is a pretty huge game because it's week 5 already. Where this is like the halfway point after this match. We're 2-2. If we win, we're back above 500. If we lose, we're under 500. And yeah, I don't want to be there. So, hopefully we can pull it out. I don't know. I think if this becomes a drawn out battle, he has the advantage. But if I can just kind of hit him quickly and just keep up the pressure, potentially it could be my battle to lose, I guess. So I think it could go either way. I don't think anyone's matchup is too horrendous or too good against the other person. I just think we have to position ourselves well and play well, because I know this guy also knows what he's doing. So it's gonna be a tough one, but see what happens, and I will catch you guys in the battle. Again, if I make any changes to the team, which is probably likely, then I'll let you know before the battle actually starts. So yeah, I'm gonna cut to the battle here, and I'll see you there. So wish me luck. Alright, here we are in the battle, going up against Mid and his Kentucky Torcats. He brings a team of Zygar 50%, Victini, Suicune, Alolan Persian, Mega Venusaur, and Skarmory, which means he did not bring Noctowl, Avalugg, Alakazam, Aromatisse, or Conkeldurr. So, very, very typical, I'm seeing, nothing crazy. I was thinking, maybe if he brings Avalugg or Noctowl, I didn't really prep for either of those, at all, but neither of them really made sense to come. Probably luckily for me, neither of them came because, I don't know, maybe they would have caught me off guard or something, but, yeah, before we get into the battle, I did make one change to the team. I put Zoro on there because I was planning on having a mock battle right before this battle just to see how it went. Because again, the AV Slowbro was very new, and I didn't have any mocks with that one. I didn't have any mocks with a new Shaman, but I had to get rid of the new Shaman because apparently Natural Gift isn't allowed in Gen 8. It's not a move, so I don't know why it allowed me to. It didn't say illegal, but it also, my team was in the tier, so anything that was legal in the tier should have been okay, but I guess not. So we had to completely scrap the Shaman just because I literally clicked accept on the battle and it told me Shaman. That was the moment I knew it was wrong, because again, I didn't have any mocks with the new team I had made, so I had no idea what was right and what wasn't, or what was allowed and what was, pretty much. So instead of having Shaman, I just changed it to Zorua, Agility, Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, and Extra Sensory with a good amount of speed, enough speed to outspeed a +1 or Scarf to Victini if it's not speed boosting nature like Timid or Jolly. So if it is speed boosting nature, it would outspeed us. I just didn't want to run Timid on Zorua if I already had Agility. So yeah, and it's going to be disguised as Mega Scizor until Mega Scizor dies, of course, because I just wanted to make sure that I had a situation that was good to have Zorua in. For example, if I bring in Zorua out from some way, I don't know how, but if Zorua, maybe he kills me with freaking Alolan Persian, and I bring in the Zorua, he's gonna think it's Mega Scizor, and he's probably gonna want to switch. But he'll probably just Parting Shot. I guess Mega Venusaur is a better example because I can dual wing beat Mega Venusaur. I can try to set up on it if it doesn't have Sleep Powder or anything. So I go in against that Pokemon, and I force a switch into probably Skarmory. If Skarmory's really healthy, he'll probably go into Skarmory, thinking if I am Mega Scizor. But that's when I click Agility or Nasty Plot and really just catch him off guard. I didn't want Gengar because I don't want to disguise it as Gengar because if I Nasty Plot, Gengar also gets Nasty Plot, so he actually wouldn't know if it's Zorua or Gengar. He'd probably think it's Gengar with the Nasty Plot. He'd switch into probably a Alolan Persian on that Pokemon, and then he'd just be able to knock off me. I can't really do much to the Alolan Persian with the Zorua. Maybe he brings in a Spadef Suicune or a Spadef Venusaur and knocks off, or just Toxics or Leech Seeds or whatever. It's just not a good situation to be in. If I'm Zorua, I really want to be in against the Skarmory. Probably Agility the first turn and then Nasty Plot, because Mega Scizor does get Agility, so he might think I'm Agility Mega Scizor. And then I'll hit him with that Nasty Plot, and then hopefully we can just run through his team. Only problem with that is Alolan Persian is resists Dark Pulse and is immune to Extra Sensory. So Extra Sensory was there mainly for Conkeldurr, but it also hits Venusaur a little harder. Yeah, enough explanation of that. That's the first time I just felt like slapping it on there. And again, I was gonna get one mock in before the battle, but that did not happen because the other guy built my team. He used my team against me, and that obviously is not going to help me much. But it's all good. I'm just like, whatever, we'll just have the battle and see what happens. So, enough explanation. I'm going to lead with Floor just because I see the Alolan Persian. I know he's going to turn one, lead with that, and probably just Parting Shot out. So, I'm going to go ahead and start the battle. He does lead Alolan Persian, and I lead with Florges. He goes for Parting Shot turn one, which is what I expected. Now, I didn't want to Moonblast or Psychic or whatever, because I didn't want to show what kind of set I was, so I just went for Wish turn one, just to kind of bluff the fact that I'm more of a defensive set. And I go into Mega Scizor here. I was hoping he wouldn't have Sleep Powder. That would be really annoying, because now he's going to know that my Zorua is a Zorua, because Mega Scizor is going to be asleep, and if I bring in the Zorua, it's not going to be asleep. So um, I bring in Slowbro on the Venusaur as he switches into Victini. He doesn't like that matchup, so he's going to switch into Persian as I Scald, do a good amount, and then I bring back in Hybrid. I know he's probably going to Parting Shot, but I thought maybe he's going to maybe Taunt or like Knock Off or something. I just wanted to get Mega Scizor not asleep, mainly for the Zor to bluff that the Zor was asleep, was not to bluff that the Zor was Scizor. Anyway, he brings in Victini after the Parting Shot, gets a few Flame Charges off as I just Future Sight. I know this is a weakness policy set, so I'm not going to Scald it and just get swept. That's not my goal here. And now I click Thunder. I was hoping for no Para, but I do have a Lumberry anyway, so it doesn't really matter. He's going to go into Skarmory as I just click Dragon Claw because I wasn't sure what he was going to do. But thinking about it now, I probably just should have Swords Dance because he didn't want to die to an Earthquake. But yeah, I take Rocky Helmet from the Dragon Claw, and then I go for Swords Dance, hoping that he roosts. He does, in fact, roost. I know this turn he's either going to Iron Defense or Whirlwind, as I taunt him, and he goes for Whirlwind, which is great. I know he's used phasing moves with Suicune and Skarmory in the past, so I know he's probably going to bring that for the Haxorus. So I get another Swords Dance off, and I know I can't kill him, but I can do a lot of damage with Scale Shot if I get a lot of hits. I end up getting 5, so that is extremely lucky, and I bring this thing down to basically a point where it's not going to do anything. It Brave Birds me because I'm assuming that's its only attacking move. Even if it isn't, Ironhead wouldn't be 2KOing, so he probably just would have lost then and there if he didn't have E-Speed on the Zygarde. But yeah, he's at 8%, so I can just bring in Gengar, and he doesn't want to really risk a lone Persian coming in case I click like Sludge Wave or something, so he just sacks the Skarmory. And then he brings in Persian. I'm going to predict him to predict the switch. There's no reason to risk my Gengar at this point, except that's exactly what I do, because I know it's such an obvious play of switching. At the same time, if he knockoffs there and kills me, I just look like a fool. So, yeah, I do get a healthy chunk of Zygarde. Tells me he's a little bit, oh my goodness, tells me he's a little bit bulky, like maybe like 200 EVs and HP or something like that. I switch into Slowbro as he switches into Suicune, as that's not good for me because I go for Future Sight as he subs and I bring in Gengar. I know he's going to be a sub like a Crocoon. It's very common set, very difficult to deal with unless you have Toxic, but I don't even have Toxic on this team. So here I'm going to actually bring in Florges, predicting the Zygarde, but also if he stays in and, I don't know, Scalds again, it's fine because I am Specs, so I'll be able to deal with that Pokemon. And here, I'm going to click Psychic. I was really predicting the Florges to come in, and he might have thought if I'm a defensive set, because he didn't know I'm Specs at this point, if I'm like a defensive set, he might actually be able to take a Moonblast. So I just really thought the Venusaur was going to come in. I thought that was an easy way to get that Pokemon in and get a Mega Evolution off. I think it's a smart play, but it just didn't work out because he prioritized getting the poison off on the Florges, which I find interesting because Florges isn't a huge threat against him since Victini's there. But then again, the Victini's special, so maybe he prioritized that. That's fine. Anyway, a few turns later, what happened? Zygarde switched into Victini as I double out into Gengar. Oh yeah, that was a prediction. I knew being against a sleeping Scizor, he'd try to bring in Victini, so I basically get a free kill there. He could have brought in Persian, but it might have 2KO'd at that point, and I don't know if he didn't have any speed in the Persian. He probably wouldn't want to let that thing die, so he just sacked the Zygarde pretty much, which is good news for me. I was close to clicking Sludge Wave there, predicting the Persian, but no. So basically, a few turns later, I'm basically in Mega Scizor. I finally wake up, which doesn't really matter at this point because I'm just sacking this Pokemon. I know that he's gonna Flame Charge, and that's fine. I don't really mind that because as long as he's fully special, he can't do much to Florges. So he's gonna Flame Charge twice and knock out my Scizor. It's a 4-4 game here, and I don't want to bring in Slowbro. I know Masalvest I can take Thunders, but if I Scald and I don't kill him, he might just sweep me because of weakness policy. So yeah, so I click he clicks Blue Flare, does 35, Moonblast almost 2KOs him. I'm gonna switch into Slowbro. Wasn't too sure what he was gonna do, but I didn't want to risk too much damage on the Florges because of the last 3 Pokemon he had. I wanted to kind of keep that Pokemon a little healthy. So yeah, he goes for Blue Flare, and then he misses the Thunder. I still have my Assault. Wait, did I? Yeah, I still have my Assault Vest at this point, so it wouldn't have would have done about half, and I did have Regenerator, so it's fine. I just need to get that Pokemon in Rage Tor Scald would actually knock him out, instead of giving him the Weakness Policy boost. So he subs there, and then he clicks Toxic. Unfortunately, hits, um, but you know, it is what it is. I know that he can just stall me out with subs here, um, or bring in Venusaur. Either way, I'm locked in a Moonblast, so I'm just gonna switch into Gengar. I was kind of hoping he'd switch, which he did, which is fine. So then I double back into Florges because I'm predicting probably a Sleep Powder, or he could bring in Persian here. This is probably my biggest misplay here. I click in the game. I click Moonblast, um, really thinking that he must know I'm Specs at this point. He probably wants to get into Persian, take the Psychic that's obviously coming, and then I'm locked into that. Maybe he didn't know I was Specs. Maybe that's why he didn't switch into Persian. But if I go for Psychic there, I think I kill it. I come really close to killing it. So unfortunately, he knocks me out there with the Venusaur, well, with the toxic damage. And then I get in Gengar. I know Sludge Wave does a lot. It won't kill, but it'll chip that Pokemon a lot of. He goes for Sleep Out and lands as he gets a free switch into Persian, as I'm asleep that turn. And this is where he knocks out the Assault Vest. So it's a little unfortunate for like Venusaur if he's got Giga Drain. That's doing a lot more and it's giving him more health back. Here he actually misclicks with the taunt. He meant to click the parting shot, which definitely sucks for him. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Um, that I think that ends up mattering. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But let's see. Yeah, I click Future Sight because I know he's gonna parting shot into Suicune. That's really the only thing I can do. I don't want to switch because then the parting shot would hit whatever Pokemon I bring in. I bring in the Gengar. I'm just really hoping for a first turn Wake. That's all I really can do at this point, or not a first, well, a second turn Wake, like the first turn that I have the ability to wake up. So yeah, I do end up getting the wake up, and I get 46% with the Thunderbolt, which does a lot, good amount of damage, and then plus the Future Sight is going to bring him down to 10%. This is actually Zorua. I'm bringing Zorua, and I'm really thinking I'll outspeed this Pokemon, but he has a good amount of speed in the Suicune. Because my Zorua was 225, and a Suicune with no speed investment is 206, so he definitely had a good amount. Creeping something for sure. But yeah, he's obviously Zorua at this point. He's going to bring in Persian as I just nasty plot. I have the Toxic on me, which really sucks. If I didn't have the Toxic, I'd just win here. But it's fine, as I'm able to go for a Dark Pulse here. Do a lot of damage. I do 49. And here, it's really tough. I really don't have enough time within the turns to explain the mind games that are going on here. But basically, I'm really predicting... yeah, I can't let Mega Venusaur come in and Synthesis. So if he parting shots here and brings in the Venusaur, I actually don't kill him with Ice Beam, and then he can Synthesis and then Giga Drain, and I basically lose. So I had to Future Sight there, and hope just hope that he doesn't parting shot. Luckily, he just was sacking the Persian all along, which I found surprising, but it's fine. It worked out in my favor because knockoff just wasn't doing enough. Ice Beam does 18, so that confirms that, if he parting shots and I lose that special attack, Ice Beam's doing about 12. Maybe I get a high roll and I kill him, but he was at 13%. So, Future Sight's just a really well-timed Future Sight. Not to brag or anything, just very well-timed Future Sight for me. And we're going to be able to pick up the W. I saved Zorua because I know he could extra sensory Venusaur at the end and do a good amount of damage. I was not predicting Venusaur to have a lot of speed investment, if any. So I knew that I was confident in Zorua being able to deal a good amount of damage because we saw by the Sludge Wave damage, or initially by the Moonblast damage on the Venusaur, that was not a Sped F Venusaur like at all. So it probably had like max HP and that's it, if even max HP. So I knew that extra sensory at the end could be the difference maker as long as I get rid of that Persian. And again, I mean, if he parting shots as I Future Sight at the end there, and he's able to Synthesis off damage, I don't know if I went. I'd have to see the rest of his set. He had Sleep Powder, Sludge Bomb, Synthesis. I don't know his last move. If it was Giga Drain, I think he wins there. If it was, well, it depends on if he gets up to full health. Future Sight's doing at least 45. It's probably doing more than that. I guess I can calc it real quick. And then, I don't know how much Zorua does to that. I probably should have looked at this after. So just because I'm curious, I want to see how that end game would work out. He might have had Leech Seed instead. Um, but definitely good game. I definitely got lucky with the hacks. I got a few things go my way. The Thunder Miss, which I don't think really mattered because I had Regenerator. Um, I wouldn't call waking up um, on the second turn from sleeping. I wouldn't really call that hacks, but it is something to keep in mind. It's just fortunate, I guess, is the right word. And then he did miss a toxic with the Zygarde, which was kind of huge. So yeah, Future Sight was doing 60 to 72% to that Venusaur. Again, as long as these calcs make sense. Wait, no, because I would have been at -1. So that would have only done like 45%. Yeah. And then I don't think Zorua can knock him out at that range. Yeah, it definitely can't. I would have to hope for a flinch. I think it's like a 20% flinch chance. Um, yeah, so he probably could have won that at the end if he just spammed Synthesis. But also I'm getting Ice Beam off. I could get a burn with Scald. I might be able to do something with Ice Beam. I just wish I brought Grass Knot instead of Shadow Ball because he didn't even bring Alakazam. So Grass Knot, kind of being able to hang with the Suicune would have been a little bit better. But we ended up getting a win. That's what matters. So like I said in the team, it was pretty pivotal being able to get a win here and going above 500 instead of below. I know it's not the biggest win and it's kind of lucky the way I won, but I'll take it. At the end of the day, just one step closer to playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for, and we'll see how that goes. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.